Yesterday we have started with the diff commands, right? Git diff to check the. I'm not writing the exact commands. I'm just walking you through the concepts we discussed. We have discussed about how to see the staged changes or any unstaged changes on a file, right? How do you check staged changes or unstaged changes? That's where git diff is used. This is what we have learned. And to exclude certain files from versioning, we have learned about .git ignore, right? And then once we have learned about .git ignore, we have looked into revert part, how to revert any commit, right? Let's say you have done some commit. If you want to undo the changes, any random commit can be reverted. Yeah. Whenever you revert, you get a commit ID. Again, you can revert that particular revert, right? Revert the revert. In the sense, you get a commit ID. If you get a commit ID when you're making changes, like the commit ID could be when you commit it or when you revert it, because in both the cases, you get a commit ID generated. So you revert it, right? So you can revert any commit ID, any random commit ID as well. So means it's undoing the changes. And then we have discussed about reset, particularly the hard reset, but we have also discussed an additional note on soft reset and mixed reset. I ask you to go through and do some hands-on like exercise from your end as a homework, right? You can also try that. So revert, reset, and then we have discussed about branching. Did I miss anything? This is where we started talking about the concept of branching. Right? These are the topics we have discussed yesterday, and we have discussed about the differences between reset and revert as well. Like reset is a destructive and powerful command, should be used only like when you are very sure. Very rarely we use it. Generally, on regular basis, we go for revert because any changes reverted. I mean, if you use reset, the changes gone are gone forever. It is used to reset the head of the particular commit history, right? The pointer will be shifted, head pointer can be shifted. So that's what is a reset. So these are the different concepts we have gone through. Now we have to do the hands-on on branching. But before going to hands-on on branching, let me give a recap of branching so that you'll get a clarity on it. So what's branching? By default, we have a branch called master branch, right? It's called master branch or main branch or the default branch, whatever you call it, to allow parallel development, to allow parallel releases, right? Parallel, you can develop on different modules. You may want to do different releases or parallel releases or maintain versions, or else may not be any of these reasons. Just you don't want to mess up the actual code. You want to draft it. Then, if it is working fine, you want to move to the other branch, right? That's where you can go to another branch. Like you can create a branch from this master, like a B1, make changes here. Once you make branches, whatever changes you make in B1 cannot be visible to master and vice versa. It's not visible to master. Similarly, if you make any changes to master, it will not be visible to B1, right? So this is how it works. In reality, if you talk about reality, there will be a master branch. This will be a dedicated branch for production releases. We never do any changes on production. We don't do any changes. We just check out a branch from master. We'll have different branches here, like develop branch, right? Release branch, and then or else staging branch. You have a different branches. You make changes here, right? These will be deployed to dev environment. This will be deployed to release environment. And like, let's say, okay, dev release, all these are working fine. You will push the same to master. That's all. Otherwise, we will not directly make any changes to master. Master would be a dedicated branch uh, for production and all. So this is how it works. You will create a feature. So let's suppose, okay, this is the permanent branch for production environment. Let's say this is a second permanent branch for dev. The third production branch, third real branch for a stage environment. Let's say there are three environments. These are the branches that goes to each environment. Right? We don't directly make changes on these branches, even on dev also. What you do, every developer, let's say they want to make some changes. They will check out means create a branch from this develop branch, call it as some feature login feature. He was making changes. So he'll create a branch called feature login, make changes here, then merge it back to dev branch. So that's how any changes will happen in the real projects. You don't directly make changes or merges on the branch, right? So keeping this in note, now let's start. Like we already have a master branch. Let's start creating a branch and let's see how it behaves. Before that, let me conclude. Branch is like a virtual copy of your repositories, right? They were same till you make a copy. After that, right, they work like two parallel entities, two separate entities, two independent entities, right? So you might be having further questions. Let me get started with the hands-on so that many of the queries can be resolved that way. So let's begin. So if you want to check as usual, where are you? Git status. So see, that's why it was showing on branch master with the two files. And let's also check the log now. As of now, yesterday we have done reset. So yes, two commits. Fine, perfect. Now, if you want to see the complete branch list, Git branch will show you the branch list. And I would like to remind you one more thing. We were still on local repositories, right? We didn't go to remote it. If you can recollect, we didn't go to remote it. We were still on local only. Are you referring this architectural diagram every day? I would suggest you every day, like whenever like you are working on Git initially, till this architectural diagram is registered, you should go through this.
Yes. Yes,
Right?
we record.
We were on local. So now that we were on local, let's create a separate branch from master. So when you create a branch, whatever is there on master branch, everything you'll get onto this new branch you create. So anyway, let's create the branch. Git. How do you create a branch from master? Git branch b1 master means the syntax is like Git branch, the child branch, and the parent branch. So the branch B1 will be created. Okay, if you check the list, Git branch. Yeah, see there you can see B1. Let's switch to B1 and see what happens. How do you go to B1? Git checkout. Git checkout B1. I just gave the name as B1. See, it says switch to B1. So if I switch to B1, how do I see the files? Same ls. Now, whatever commands you run are set to be applicable on B1. Means now if you run any command, that's going to hit the B1 branch. Similarly, I would also want to check the log, like git log one line, a brief log. That shows the log of B1. If you still want to make sure, here also you can give the branch name. See? Yeah. In the log command, you can also put the branch name like this. So it's a log of B1. Those are the files of B1. Means everything you got a copy from master. Got it right, everyone? So, okay, fine, branch.
Pretty one question.
Hmm.
When you created this branch B1 and in the command you also write like git B1, git branch B1 master. So master, do we need to write explicitly?
It's optional. It's optional. This is the command you're talking about. Right?
Yes,
So the
yes.
syntax is git branch, child branch, and parent branch. But if the parent branch is the same as the branch you are on, means I run this command when I am on master branch.
Yeah.
Your parent is also master. In that case, you don't need to mention. And the second case is if by default you want to create from master only, then also you don't need to mention. Got me? Suppose you are on some X branch. Okay, if you want to create a branch from X, you will do git branch B1 will also fine because it will be created from X only, right? But let's suppose you are on Y branch, but you want to create from X. But if you simply write git branch B1, it will be created from master. If you don't mention the branch name, right, it will be created from the Y branch, right? It will be created from the destination branch. To make sure from which branch you want to create, mention the branch name here, right?
Okay, so this is branch into the branch. Is it same? Like
No, I'm
in
just
master.
considering it as separate. B2, let's say B3, right? Let's suppose this is the syntax of creating a branch. Git branch, child branch, and parent branch. If you are already on the parent branch, don't need to mention the parent branch. That's all. Got it now? If this is confusing, ignore it. This one. I run this command when I'm on master branch, so you don't need to mention it.
Okay.
Right?
Can we create a another branch from B1?
You can. How to create a branch, from which branch we should create, this all depends on the design, like how depends on their project, depends on their releases, the functionality requirement. That's where the decision comes, like from which branch we should create and all. But creating too many branches, nested branches, may mess up the project, so that should be taken care by. Okay, so now that B1 branch is created and we were on B1, shall we create some files on B1? Yeah.
Can you
Like
please
earlier, the same, everything is same, the same old story. You create a file, you add, you commit, that is all same. So let's create a file here.
Preeti, can you please show the checkout part once again?
Git checkout to switch. Git checkout the branch name you want to switch.
Okay.
Preeti, can we create a new branch from here? Like we say we are in B1, right? So we can create another branch from master again from
You
being
can
here.
create Git branch, the branch name and the parent child branch and parent branch. You can.
Okay, we
See,
can put
first
master
let
over
me.
here.
Huh?
So we can put master after that branch name. So it
You
will create another.
can.
Okay.
You can. See, those are the things which you can experiment from your end as well. But I would suggest to listen first. Okay, let me complete about this branch part. Then I'll ask for questions in some 5 or 10 minutes. Then put your queries. Because I'm going to explain this. Maybe I may be discussing the things you are having a question. So just give me 5 to 10 minutes on every topic. Right? Once I'm done, I'll ask for the questions. Then put the queries. So that you will not be deviated and your questions may also be answered. If not, yeah, you put them, right? So just let me walk you through the hands-on this part, then put your queries. So yeah, I'm on B1 branch. Let's try creating a new file here. I'm creating a file here, file3.txt. Okay, let's say new file on B1. Okay, so now if you see the status, yeah. Can you see? Again, the same old story, like untracked file. Why it was showing untracked? Because like it was a new file, right? In a master, yesterday we have seen when it was new file for the first time, right? You will get this. So what you will do here, git add, right? Like any other branch, like yesterday we did. Done. Again, if you want to check the status, see here you have to notice this on branch B1 changes to be committed. So what should I do? Can you help me?
Git add change. Git commit.
Git commit -m,
Git commit
then comment.
Let's say a file on B1 created. This is what I mean. Okay. Now, tell me now, how many files I have here?
4. Sorry, 3.
No,
3
three
files we have.
files you have.
3 files on B1. How many commits on B1?
1
One.
commit.
1 commit.
Means today we have done 1 and
Total 3 commits we have. Yeah. 3 commits were. So B1 is having 3 commits and 3 files. Do you think this third commit and third file available on master?
No,
Do you think so?
no,
But
it will not be available.
Right, we don't have those files because this B1 is a separate branch. Whatever changes you make in B1 will not be automatically or by default visible on other branches or its parent branch. No. Let's check that out as well. Git checkout switching. Okay, this command is used to switch. Git checkout master. I'm switching to master. See at the back end also this got changed. How many files there on master? Only 2 files. And what is the log of master? See, only 2 commits. Whereas in B1, you have got 3 commits. Perfect, right? It was working as expected. That's
Uh,
how you Hmm.
Priti, one question. Okay, when you created branch B1 and after creating branch B1, you created only file 3, right? Not file 1 and file 2 was already there in master.
I created branch B1 from master. When you create a branch from the parent, whatever in the parent will be copied, including the files, including the commits.
Okay, so when you list the command and then in B1 branch or in child branch, it will show all the files, including from master also.
Yeah. Yeah, because those are the content of B1 now.
Okay, okay.
And there is a question from Krishna Swami. Creating a branch doesn't create folder. No, those are just, I told you, imagine them like a virtual copies. That's all, not a physical folders, right? Virtual copies of your repository. So now I'm back on master. I don't have that third file. I don't have the third commit. But let's suppose, let's assume this B1 is for temporary purpose. Okay, I don't want to use it permanently. Just for temporary purpose, I want to use this B1. Means, okay, changes are done on B1. Now I want to integrate the changes of B1 to master. What is this called as? Integrating changes from one branch to another. From B1, I want to integrate the changes to B1 master.
Merge.
So this kind of integration is called merging the changes, right? I want to merge the changes. So let's see how to merge. This is the syntax for merging. I'll take up the queries in a while. Okay, in 10 minutes, please listen. I'll come to the questionnaire. Git merge B1, git merge source branch and the destination branch. You know source and destination, right? When you are traveling, source is the point from where you are starting. Destination is where you want to settle down or where you want to go, right? So
Yes.
similarly here also, I want to integrate the changes from B1 to master, correct? So B1 is the source here. Destination, I want to get the changes into master. I want to put them into master. So git merge B1 master. Right? Is the command correct? Source and destination. Let me run this. What happens now? See, it says here you can see fast forward merge. Okay, file 3. In your master, if you select ls, if you do ls, see 3 files were shown. Similarly, now on master, if I do one line also to make sure that's a log of master, yes. Also, I would like to show the log of B1 here. So B1. See, everything is same now. Whatever changes, whatever comments you have on the source branch were also into the destination branch.
So Priti, sorry to interrupt. So if we are on branch 1, okay, we are not on master and we want to merge, the syntax will be the same, right?
Syntax will be the same, right? In certain versions of Git, it works though, but in certain versions, you should make sure you are on the destination branch when you are merging. That's a
Okay.
best practice, and also certain versions are allowing only that. You should be on your destination branch when you are merging.
Okay, means
You
for
have to
this.
switch to master and then do it.
Okay, got it.
If you are on destination branch, you already on destination branch, you don't need to mention this also. But from if you are running this from other branches, you have to do. But this is the best practice.
So if we are on the child branch, and
Hmm.
still we try to merge it to the master from B1 to master, will it be done or it will give some error?
It will work. That's what I'm saying. Certain versions of Git, it was not allowing, but it will work. It used to work.
Okay.
But always this is the best practice. Go to your
Yeah, yeah.
destination and then merge it. Right? So this is the simple concept of branching and merging. See, branch is like whenever I'm repeating again, you are creating a branch means from any branch, you can create a child branch. So from whichever parent branch you are creating a child branch, it will be an exact copy of the parent at the point when you create a branch. From later on, it just works like two different entities, two different uh, people, right? So parent and child are different. Same is the case here. Whatever you make in the child branch will not be visible on the parent and vice versa. Got it, right? All of you? Any questions now you can ask me. Okay, there is a question from one participant saying that will it be same when you work with a git ignore? Git ignore is also a file, right? So it works the same way. Git ignore also will be copied to other branches and so on. Yes.
Let's say there are 5 files in master and 3 files in B1. And if I merge now, so the 5 files will be replaced with the 3, or else only the 3 will be updated here. So how does it work with the
Like the 5 files are there in the new branch, child branch, right? And parent
no,
has
no.
got only 3.
5 files? No. Oh, 5 files in the master. B1 has 3. And if I do a merge, what will happen?
You merge B1 to master, so 5 files are master. Only whatever on B1 will come into master, that's all. B1 will not be affected. B1 source branch will not be affected. Destination branch is the one that will be affected. So if B1
Okay.
has only 3 files, master has 5 files, if you are merging, that's all. Like whatever changes, whatever 3 files were there in B1, those will come to master. And of course, its additional changes will be still there. See, you have to understand here one thing to get proper answer to your question. Git works with respect to commits. Again, remember, with respect to changes and commits. Means it's not about the file, it's not number of files, it's not file count, it's about the commits. Right? Like I have 3 commits, you have 2 commits, master has 2 commits. This is how it works. Not with respect to the files. Your question can be well answered in the next part. We are going to look into another scenario of merge, then these questions can be answered. Right?
Preeti,
So
can you please relate it with the live scenario like this master and child branch?
in
Like,
the beginning, I told, right, there is a dev branch. This has to be deployed onto the dev environment. You don't
okay,
mess up this one. You create a feature branch from here called feature login. Sometime back in the beginning, I have shown you feature login. Create some branch from dev, make changes here, then merge it. Don't mess the original branches. Let's say there's a
yeah.
requirement, you have to do it. You create a branch and do it, or else there might be some bug fixes, you have to do it quickly, right? You create a branch for bug fixes, you make the changes, merge it back.
Okay, so let's say for example, if there is this login module is already available in the master, and we are making a change or we are modifying the this module in dev branch right now, and after that when we are merging the change, then it will merge in the existing one which is already in master.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay,
See, let's take up the other scenario, then these questions will be answered. That's what we are going to discuss.
okay, okay.
Those things we are going to discuss, okay? See, the thing whichever we have done is a simple merge, or else called as fast forward merge, or else you may call it as a automatic merge, whatever you call it. It's a simple merge. Just we created a branch, then we went to new branch, we made some changes, and then merged it to parent. There could be different scenarios, different use cases here. Okay, let me talk about another scenario where it could be challenging at times so that many of your questions should be answered. Then I'll take up those questions. Okay. Once merge the child branch to master, then it will delete the branch. No, it will not delete the branch. See, child branch is still there. If you do git branch, child branch is still there. You have to delete it if you want. Deletion of branch, I'll show you maybe tomorrow because we have many things to do on these branches. Then later we'll see deleting. Okay. So now coming back, I'm on master branch. Fine. It has got 3 files. Now let's say, see, this is another scenario. Listen this carefully from the beginning. If you lose in between, you may not able to connect the dots properly. So please concentrate everyone. Now I'm going to create a file on master. Okay. Memorize the steps carefully. We are creating a file on master. On file for, let's say, okay, something like this. Now, what happens when we see the status? Obviously, untracked file. I would like to put this file to staging. Then it should show like changes to be committed. I would also like to commit them. So git commit minus a we don't need, we already added. So let's say file created on master. Okay, done. Everything is clean. Now I have 4 files on master and I should have 4th commit on master. So now tell me, is this 4th file available on B1? Do you think will it be available on B1? Or the
No,
4th commit, 4th file, were they available on B1?
no.
No.
Obviously no, right? It was a copy only when you make a branch. Later on, they were like 2 parallel paths, 2 different entities. So on B1 definitely will not have. Let's see, let's go to B1. How to go to B1? How to switch the branch? Can you help me out?
Git checkout.
Git.
Yeah, see the asterisk also shows you're on master. I just want to make a move. So git checkout B1. Yes, here you can see on the prompt, right? Or else if you see branch, see asterisk is on B1. Or else if you do status, these are all the different ways to check on which branch you are on. Yes, I'm on B1. If you do ls, yes, ls everything. Now whatever commands I run are on B1 or happening on B1. See 3 files. Also, if you check the log, right? So you have got 3 commits, right? The 4th one is not there. 4th file is not there. 4th commit is not there. Perfect. So now they were working like 2 parallel branches, like as expected. Everything is good. Let's suppose now I would like to make some changes on B1. Maybe I want to work on some requirement. Here, as per the requirement, I too need this file. I'm not bothered whether it is the same one is available on master or whatever. I just want to make some changes. Right, I'm creating file for here. So the same old story, add the changes, commit the changes. Okay, done. So if you see the status now, right, on branch B1, everything is clean, good. So I have got 4 files. And if you see the log, yes, 4 commits. Perfect, right? So 4 files were there, 4 commits were there. Now, let's say, like I said, B1 is for temporary purpose. I'm using it just to make some changes. And yeah, and the changes were done. They were all good. Now I want to merge these changes back to master. How to do that? I want to integrate these changes back to master. What are the steps?
Again,
What
we
is
need
that? What is that? Integrating changes from one branch to another branch called as?
merge. We need to do the merge.
Right. So
Git merge. Okay.
git checkout first. Let's go to the destination branch.
Okay.
Git checkout master.
Git.
Yes, master has got these 4 files. Just once again, I am showing you to recollect. So it has got 4 commits. That's a log of master. If you want, you can also see the log of B1 here. Right? So 3 commits were same, but see here. Anyway, let's keep this aside for some time. Now, I want to integrate, bring the changes from branch B1 branch to master. How to do that? What is the command?
Git merge,
Git merge
then
Git merge.
B1
B1 master.
master.
Right, source and destination. So if I run this command, what happens? Will it merge successfully? Or what kind of message it will give, do you think?
The conflict message.
We have to
So what
Because if
happens?
copy of message already existed.
Conflict.
Let's see what happens. Let me run this. Git merge B1. See, it says auto merging failed, means automatically it cannot merge. Automatic merge fail. There is a conflict, right? It doesn't know. Git cannot decide which changes to keep. There was a merge conflict in file 4. Okay, fine. Git has a confusion. Automatic merge failed. Git cannot do it. So what it was saying, automatic merge failed. You have to fix the conflicts and commit the results. It's asking us to fix the conflict. But before fixing the conflicts, I would like to ask you why we got this conflict. What is the reason?
Because both are the
Then we
same
will
name.
learn about how to fix it. Tell me.
Because both are
Same
the
file
same
names
name.
existed.
One by one, please.
Same file names existed in both the branches.
Same file names. Anything else? Is it just because
maybe
the same file name?
maybe we are missing some commits which is on the source branch.
Hmm.
This is on the source branch, and we are trying to merge because the distribution branch don't have that commit.
Exactly. See, what happens here is like when this scenario, when merge conflicts comes, generally people think that it's simply a file name. Not file name alone, of course, file name, and apart from the file name, there is something else. If you understand this concept, what is happening at the back end, right? You know why conflicts happen, when to push your code, when to not push your code, how to resolve them. So let's learn what's happening at the back end, right? Are you all seeing the black screen?
Yes.
Okay. Let me now explain the whole process, like whatever done, I'm writing here in the steps. First, let's say we have got the master branch. Branch name could be anything, okay? The concept, the merge happens the same way and the same concept. So let's say I have 2 branches initially. Then what I did, I asked you to register, note the steps, right? What we did is here I have created file 4 and made a commit. Let's say the commit is A. Is this commit available on B1 branch? Some commit happened here. Is this available on B1?
No.
No.
Obviously, no. Then what we did, second step, we came to B1. This is the second step. We came to B1, created another file, means, yeah, added, committed, right? So finally, yes, this file is there. It has got another commit B. Is this commit available on master branch?
No.
Definitely, yes. No, it's not there. Okay, fine. So this is how development is happening. First, I made some changes, made a commit on master on file 4, then made a commit on B1 branch on file 4. It's commit B, fine, done. Then at a later point of time, I'm trying to merge it. What is merging? See, from B1, here this is the source, B1 is the source, and master is the destination branches, right? So whenever you are merging, the concept of merging, bring the changes from one branch to another, or integrate, better you say integrate the changes from one branch to another. So if you see here the commit history of B1, particularly on file 4, I'm only talking about commit history of file 4, okay? Because yes, same file, it should be same file, and also something else. So yeah, file 4, what is the commit history of file 4 on B1 branch? Simply only one commit, right? B. And what
Yes.
would be the what would be the commit history of file 4 here?
Only one commit.
Only A.
A. Right? So this is how it is. Imagine there were 2 boxes. Okay, there is a box called this B on B1 branch, a box called A on master branch. Now I am merging. So merge concept, the meaning is you integrate the changes from here to here, means now Git has a confusion. Give me a second. Yeah. Now Git has a confusion. Should it ignore A and put only B? Because integration means you bring changes from source and put it here. So Git has a confusion. Should it override A and put only B? If Git does this, this means overwriting. If Git keeps doing this kind of overwriting, there's no point of using it, right? Also, Git has a question. Should I ignore this B and keep only A? Right? So Git cannot also do that. Git cannot ignore the source branch changes when merging, right? So Git cannot ignore the new branch changes, or Git cannot keep only this one and override the old branch changes, or else whether it has to keep both. Git has a question or a confusion, right? So Git cannot decide. It's after all a tool, right? It is just a tool. As a person, as the owner, you created these files. You are the one who have to decide what to do. That's where you got a conflict. Means basic point is your source branch is missing some commits which are there on destination. Means if source has got this kind of commit history for file 4, if this is the commit history of file 4 or B1, then there would not be a conflict, right? See, when you're merging, what happens? You are trying to put this one here. Yes, A is already there, so new B will come, so AB will be here. There is no confusion, forget. Fast forward merge will work. So, but what is the problem? What is the challenge here? Here the challenge is source branch is missing some commits that are there on destination. This is the reason for conflict. Means same file plus this one. It's not just simply same files. It should be same file, and if source is missing some commits, right, that are there in the destination, then you get a conflict. Making sense, everyone? See, I will also talk about another scenario so that you can compare. That is one scenario. This is another scenario. See, we created, let's assume there is some file 1. Do you remember file 1? Let's say
Yes.
it has got some commit. We created a branch at this point, right? So this file 1 commit also came in here. Do you remember that? We did this also actually. In the beginning,
Yes.
this is what we did, isn't it? File 1. Then third step is on this B1 branch, this is B1 branch. Okay, then on B1, let's suppose on this file, I might have done some change, commit B. Now if you merge, will you get a conflict? Same file here also, will you get a conflict?
No,
Right, because the source branch is having all the commits that are there in destination. You will not get a conflict. No conflict scenario, even though same file. Here also same file, right?
Yeah.
Try this one as an assignment or homework, whatever you call it. Will you get a conflict here? Do you think you will get a conflict here?
No, that will be without conflict, no?
Cause
That's what.
we
Means what
will
is
have,
up?
we'll have the all commits now, so no conflict there.
That's what. So the point to understand here is it's not just simply because of same file. Of course, same file plus if the source, like in this case, if the source is missing this commit here, source is missing some commits that are there on destination, then you get a conflict. Understood the scenario now, everyone? You can try doing this. Initially, you have some files when you create a branch. You try modifying it and try to merge. That's what we did. Actually, our first scenario with no conflict is this. But of course, we made a totally different file. You can try with the same file then. So understood, right, everyone? No confusions.
yeah.
Yeah. So this is the reason we got a conflict. Now, in such cases, Git is a tool, like I said. It cannot resolve the conflicts. It's not a decision maker. Okay, it is just an automation tool. It can help you. But what is the point? It is not overriding, right? Rather, it is informing you. That's what is conflict. Of course, here I am getting conflict within my changes, like within my local. The same concept is applicable on remote also. But the thing is, there you will get a conflict with other person. That scenarios also we will see. Okay, first let's see this, then we'll also talk about conflicts on remote. But the concept will be same there also, but changes will be from another person. Anyway, we'll discuss that separately. Let's not get confused. Don't think about it. Only think this much. Understood this, right? Why you got a conflict. So if you understood why you get a conflict, it will be very clear in reality when you face some challenges, conflicts. You might be having multiple conflicts on multiple files, multiple branches. So this clarity, you should have to resolve them, right? Now, question comes how to resolve it. Yes, as a person, as a owner, you created those files. You have to resolve the conflict. How to do it? Let's see. You are seeing VS Code editor, right?
Yes.
Now you can open this file, okay, in any editor. Of course, VS Code editor is the best one. This is another advantage of VS Code editor. It will show you contents from both the branches, right? See, this is from the current branch, means from the master. This is from B1 incoming change. It was showing. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Means
Yes.
whenever you get a conflict, when you open the file in Notepad also, it will show you the same way. Notepad also, it will show you the same way. See, let me open the file here. Let me go to the repo. If you directly use Git Bash without any VS Code editor or any other better editors, there were so many better editors which will help you. See, it was also showing master merging. Open this file. See, it just shows you contents of master, contents of B1. Now what you have to do whenever you get a conflict, you edit the file. Vim editor will learn later. Vim editor or Notepad, whatever it is. Okay, let me open it from Notepad for your convenience, as I didn't show you Vim editor. Right, it will show you contents like this. You edit the file like how you want, because you are the owner of the files. You decide how you want it to be. You delete this or keep it, whatever you delete. You should delete these unwanted headers. Those are just headers showing that this is from the current branch, this is from B1. Edit the file like how you want to be, whether you want to keep both these lines or only one line. You edit whatever you want and save it. Whenever you modify a file in a Git, what you should do?
We need to add again.
Add and commit, the same thing here also. But if you are using the editors like this, it will be difficult to resolve these conflicts, because those files may be having hundreds of lines, right? It will be very difficult to edit or modify in these editors. VS Code editor provides you with an option. See, I can also edit, remove and all, but see, accept incoming means I just want to accept incoming changes from source, or current change which is there in destination, or accept both, or compare. You can do all these things here in a VS Code editor. That is another advantage of VS Code editors. Not only VS Code editors, there are many other development environments like Eclipse or IntelliJ and so on, which will provide you with this merge editors and all. So developers will be using it, even everyone, yeah, even for DevOps changes, if you get a conflict, this is how you should do. So I want to keep both. Okay, I'm selecting this option. Perfect. Done. This is what I want. That's all. So whenever you make any changes to a file, what should we do in a Git?
We need to update the changes. No?
We need to
Add and commit, right?
Yeah.
So git commit. It's not a new file, so I can do -m. Let's say conflicts resolved or whatever, just some message. It was saying it was all done, so file is good. Now if you see the status on branch master, let's check the log on master. Right? See, the new commit got added, means the file 4 on master is having 2 lines. What would be the content of file 4 on B1? Do you think content of file 4 on B1 also got changed? What should be the content of file 4 on B1?
It should be created on the
Let's see. See, it is having only like its own changes, because we merged on master, the destination branch, not the source branch. Source branch will not be affected. Some of you are asking this now, some time back. So, yeah. Understood, everyone?
So, Priti, I have a doubt. So when we merge the source branch into the destination branch, so all the all the files which is created in all the commits ID in the master the source branch will have the same commits ID in the destination branch, right?
Like if there are no conflicts, it will be. But now it's a conflict, right? See, this is the
Yeah.
log of master. Now the log of B1, let's see. See, only till this part it has got, and it don't have this commit because source is missing that commit, right? So till this part they were same. Actually, these two are where I created a branch. Then this was made on B1, merged it here. Then this was made on master, it's not there here. Then this was made on B1, so merged it here. This came up when you resolve the conflict.
Means when we merge, then it also generates a commit ID, right?
Oh, you merged. See, when you merge, it will not create a commit ID, but you resolve the conflicts here, right? Means you edited the file, you added and committed. And I gave this as a commit message. So that's why it was showing as such. Not just because you are merging, because this is what, whenever you're merging means it was also a commit, right?
Yeah.
See, when you are merging, okay, let me put it here so that it should avoid confusions. When you are merging from B1 to master, let's suppose no conflict, okay? Whatever commits on B1, same will be there into coming to master. Similarly, when you are merging, again, from B1 to master, if there are conflicts, right? Yes, new commits will come here, but ID will be different. Like commit ID could be different. Here also new commits will come from B1 to master. Understood? New commits will be there whenever you are merging. If it is no conflict, same merge ID, I mean same commit ID. If it is a conflict, commit ID might be different. Got it?
Yeah. Thank you.
So this is the concept of branching, merging without conflicts and merging with conflicts. Right? So you have to practice this. Yes, tell me.
Yeah. So accepting both the changes is always the ideal
No,
solution.
it depends. See, you have to decide. You are the owner. Whether you want to keep both the lines, means both the changes from source and destination, or only source, you have to decide. Now, it depends. There
But
is no
if it
best
is,
practice, bad practice here.
yeah,
It
if
all
it is our
depends.
own, if it is our own
Mm.
file, we know what is the change required, what is not required. But when it is of a different developer, so who are working on the same file, that is the real issue, right? So
We will talk
then-
about that also, I told, right? At the end, not at the end. After this, we are also talking about conflicts on remote.
Okay.
Then you get the conflicts from other person, then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
As of now, these changes are confined for me only. So yes, I'll decide. Only the change is, as you already questioned it, what happens here is you get a conflict from other person. They will decide. Persons, developers or DevOps team, they will sit together,
Both
discuss
need to
and
see.
decide what to keep, what not to keep. That's the only difference.
Yeah. Thanks.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Those scenarios comes on remote. When we push our code, we'll look into those also separately. So we were on local. So that's about the branching and merging. Any more queries?
In
See,
vice
you
versa,
have to.
in vice versa, there will be no conflict, right? If suppose we are from master, okay, and we are committing, means for source, if the source is
See,
missing,
same concept works whether it is from, whether you are merging from master or from child. I got your point. What if you are merging from master? Same concept. You may get conflicts there also, because if you are moving from master to B1, B1 becomes destination, master becomes source. Apply the same concept.
okay,
Right? But generally, the practice is you pick up a temporary branch, make changes there, merge it to the original branch, right? That's the concept, because original branch is the one going for deployment.
yeah,
But there would be cases vice versa also. We will talk about them as well. Yes, the concept lies same. You have to always relate to source and destination, not master or B1. Okay, either it is master or B1 or B1, B3, two child branches. Concept is source and destination. If source is missing some commits, which are there on destination, and if it's the same file, yes, you get a conflict.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I would suggest here is, yeah, definitely you will be having so many questions, so many scenarios in your mind. What happens if we do that way? What happens if we do this way? What happens if we have two files? So many things, right? So many options were there. So many permutations, I can say, right? So many combinations we can think of here. So I would suggest you to try doing hands-on from your end. Just talking verbally, I might be missing understanding you properly the whole scenario, or else you might not be able to explain all of that properly, and also it may not register you just verbally discussing it. I would suggest you to do everything hands-on, put everything, all those scenarios, do it with your lab, on your lab. If you are stuck up, or if you don't understand what is happening, if you are seeing some unexpected, then come to me. There's a WhatsApp group, post your queries there. That's how you can also register the answers and the scenarios better. Okay. All right. There is a question from Aditya. It will show a conflict if there is any space added or space missing scenario. See, again, I'm telling everyone, it's not about the change. It's about the commits. I didn't tell that, okay, this line is missed from source. Then if my source is missing this line, or source is missing some code changes, 2 lines, 3 lines, then you get it. It's all about commits, Aditya. Everyone, please make a note. What I told, source is missing some commits. It's not about the code changes. It's not about simply the file names, or it's not about number of files. It's all about the commits, right? Let's say you placed a space, you gave a space and made a separate commit for that space. Then definitely if the commit is additional, then it will be also considered. Got my point? Understood my point? See, let's suppose I would like to put some space here. That's all is my change. I would like to save here and make a commit on it. Let's say, of course, it will not take, but let's say I have something else. Then I would like to add nothing but just alignment. Maybe if you could commit that, make a commit, then yes, that will be also considered. Commit is important. What is there in the commit? Is it a negligible change, or it's a major change or minor change? It doesn't matter. It's all about the commit. Hope that answers your question. So practice this thoroughly. Now let's take up another concept called stash. These are all advanced concepts in Git and very interesting concepts. So can I proceed, or any more questions from anyone?
No, yes, we are good to go.
Okay. So to understand stash, let me take a scenario. There were some files like a file 1, file 2. Okay, I'm working on these files, making some changes, work is happening, work in progress, and these changes were in working directory. I got an immediate or a very priority requirement, or else a priority task from my manager. I should make changes on something else like file 3, and I need to commit and push to remote immediately. Okay, very priority requirement. Okay, fine, I want to jump onto this task. So, but file 1, file 2, they were still incomplete. Okay, work is happening, work in progress. I just want to put them on hold. Okay, fine, I have left there and I was working on this file. So whenever I'm committing or whenever I'm pushing, it will be always talking about this file 1, file 2, right? Like unstaged changes, please commit them, please add and commit those changes. Of course, not new files, they were not untracked, but unstaged. It will keep on showing me that. Always it's a best practice to keep your repository clean whenever you are committing or whenever you are pushing to remote. It's always better to keep your repository clean. That's a best practice, right? Also, like if you want to commit in one go, you can't go with this way with unstaged changes, right? It will keep on asking us to add and commit. So what you can do is this work incomplete right pending work, I don't want to discard it because maybe half of the work is done. At the same time, I don't want to keep this in a working directory, but I just want to put it on hold for some time. So you can move this work in progress, which is in working directory, to some temporary shelves kind of, right, which is called stash. Moving the changes in the working directory, like unstaged changes from the working directory. Move the unstaged changes from the working directory to temporary shelves. This is called stash, right? So when you move it, yes, your working directory becomes clean. You can just continue, attend other priority tasks. Later on, if you want to get the changes back to your working directory so that you can continue your work, that's called unstash. Right? This is the concept of stash. Basically, if you want to just put some work on hold on temporary shells, you can stash them and you can get them back with unstash and continue your incomplete work. That's all. Right? At times, this is all how you manage your files, how you manage your content, maybe some Terraform config files. I want to create a EKS cluster, let's say Kubernetes cluster with Terraform. Okay, I was on it, I was working on it, but immediately I have some other task to make some changes to some other component on AWS. So I want to put that on hold. I may just move some of the files to temporary shells using this stash, right? I can get back and work on it. This is all about how you manage your work. Yeah. Let us do this with an example, like let's go with a hands-on so that it would be clear. You can do that on any branch. I'm just going to master branch. Okay, just want to see all the files. Okay, so I have all the comments. Now let's suppose I have got this file 1, file 2, right? Or else let's say file 3, whatever it is. Okay, 2 files I would like to consider. I'm making some changes here. On file 3. Okay, file 4. So wherever these changes, if I do git status, what would be it's showing us?
It will show the unstaged changes.
Unstaged changes on file 3 and file 4. So like I said, I want the repository to be clean, right? I just want to make this clean. I want to put this on hold because this is what is status showing. I just want to keep it clean, sorry. But at the same time, I don't want to lose them. So I would like to do stash, git stash, that's all. So what happens? All your unstaged changes in your working directory will be moved to some temporary virtual shelves called, that's what we'll call as stash. Let's do that. See, it says saving working directory to, this is the head pointer of that particular branch. Now, if you open file 3, that second line, this third line, where are they? Were they gone? Whenever you do stash, you can check like this. Before that, status. See, your repository is clean. But how to see my changes? Git stash list. Stash list will show you. See, every stash will create a stash number starting from 0. Indexing starts from 0. So this is the stash number. Your changes are here. If you want to see, git stash show that stash number. Git stash show. Right, it is showing you like what changes. It should also show you the file names. 1 minute. Okay, git show, just git show stash number will show you the changes happened there. See, This line is there on file 3. If you see here, see this line is missing on file 3. On file 4, see here, third line is missing. Right? So this is how your changes are stashed. Your repository became clean. Let's suppose I want to get them back. How to do that? How to unstash? Git stash pop, again that stash number. What this pop will do? It will bring changes back from temporary shelves to working directory. It will bring the changes back, but it will also delete from the stash list. Right? Means it will also delete from the temporary shells. It will drop, it will delete from temporary shells. I'll show you what it means. See, your changes are back here. See, do you see that? Also, here you can see dropped this stash. Dropped this stash means deleted it, right? Meaning it is no more on temporary shells. See, git stash list is empty. Your changes are back. Right? Your changes are back. Now you can continue your incomplete work like before. This is what is stash and unstash. Unstaged changes from working directory to temporary shelves. This is called stash and the vice versa is called unstash. Right?
See, what would like git show command will do?
Huh?
Git show stash number, this command, what it will do?
Git show will show you what changes were stashed, which files were stashed. Basically, it can show you which files were stashed. So git show, this will show you what changes was. It was just showing the file names. Here it was showing the content as well. And this is the command to unstash. This is to unstash. And how do you stash? What is the command to stash?
Stash.
Git stash.
This one, yes. Simply git stash. Unstash means what it is doing? Yes, it's bringing from temporary shelves to working directory, plus it was deleting from temporary shelves as well. Stash pop. Correct? Let us do another type of unstash. Let me stash again. Here now I have some unstaged changes again. I would like to stash. Can you help me how to stash?
Git stash.
Simply git stash. Okay, your repository should be clean now. Yes, good. Now, if you see the stash list, yes, you got again the stash number. And now, again, you want to unstash. How to unstash?
Git
This one,
stash,
right?
pop stash ID.
There is one more way to stash. Unstash. Git stash apply stash number. What this will do? This will also does the same. It will bring the changes back, right, to working directories, but it will not delete from the temporary shells. That's the difference between pop and apply. It will keep a copy from temporary shells. Why? I'll tell you. Okay, just let's see why you need a copy there. I'll tell you. First, let's do this. Okay, you got your changes back, but when you do stash list, it's still there, right? Whereas pop will delete from here. So why should you do the stash apply when you should do it? Like, let's suppose I have kept it on temporary. Later on, if I want to continue this incomplete work on some other branch, I can go to that branch and unstash there as well. Right? That's where the stash apply will be helpful, because it will keep a copy on that. Right? So that if you still want to make a changes, still want to continue that incomplete work or pending work on some other branch, you can unstash there. Stash is a repository level. So from any other branch also, you can unstash it. Right? So if that is the case, this is how you can do. Got it, everyone? Any
Yes.
questions?
See why we need apply stash? Could you please repeat one more time?
It will be there on the temporary shelf still. See, when you do stash list, it's still here.
Yeah, but
So if
what is
you
the
want to
significance?
go to other branch and want to continue this incomplete work there, if you keep it on temporary shelves, you can unstash in that branch, right? Go to B1, then unstash there, like again by pop. You get those changes. You can continue your incomplete work there,
Okay.
right? That's what is stash pop and stash apply. Now your changes are back, like git status. Yes, your changes are back into your working directory. Suppose if I want to stash again, what I should do? Same, right? Stash. But if you have noticed, whenever I am stashing, if I have 2 files, everything is going to stash. Correct? 3 files, 4 files, all of them. Like all the changes are being stashed. But let's suppose I want to stash only a particular file, not everything. Is that possible?
With file name we can do.
Git stash, that's called partial stash -p. Now it will prompt you. See on file 1, which part you want, sorry, whether which file you want to stash. It's a file 3. If you want yes, you can put yes. So many options there. We don't generally use it, but like inside this file, again, you want to chunk only a particular part. Even that you can do. Only you want to stash a particular chunk of code. That also possible. That's you can also move only certain changes. That is also possible. Anyway, I want to stash this file 3. Yes. File 4. Now it's prompting on every file. No. So only one file might have been stashed. If you see the status, do you see that? File 4 is still there because I stashed only file 3. Yep. Also, if you see the stash list, see another stash might have been added. Whichever you want to unstash, you can put that stash number only. This is having only file 4, right? I mean file 3. This is having both the files which I made earlier. So whichever you want to unstash, git stash pop that stash number or apply that stash number. Making sense, all of you? Also, let's suppose I don't want to stash. I never want this. I just want to drop this. You can do that. Git stash drop stash number. Drop means without stashing, it will be deleted. See in stash list because it will be moved. This index number will be moving. You are seeing it. If you want to delete a particular stash from the temporary shells, just drop. Let's say I want to clear all the stash. Simply stash clear. Now if you
question.
Hmm.
What is the difference between pop and drop?
Okay. See here. Drop is just deleting. Delete from temporary shells. That's all. Okay, what is pop doing? Anyone? What is the difference?
Pop is taking the unstacked.
It was also unstashing, exactly. It was also bringing from temporary shells back to working directory plus delete from temporary
Stash.
shells. Got it now?
Yeah.
This is the difference. You don't want to unstash, you just want to remove it. So delete, drop. Clear also same, but clear will delete everything. Whereas drop, you provide the stash number, it will drop only that particular stash. Delete all from temporary shells. Clear. Stash clear. Stash pop. Stash apply. Stash apply does the same like this. Plus, it will not delete from temporary shells. Got it now, everyone? I'm writing here so that you can go through and that will register well. This is for specific file, partial stash. a particular file or specific file, whatever you call it. Partial stash. So that is about the concept of stash. See, whenever you're stashing, have you noticed? We were stashing unstaged changes from working directory to temporary shells, right? So you may be having a question, what about untracked changes, right? Untracked means new changes, not at all add to staging. Can we stash them? Yes, you can do with the command git stash -u. You should use -u. Then untracked files means completely new files. Those also can be stashed. Only difference is use -u. See, these are all additional things. I'm just mentioning everything related to stash, whatever I can. But most of the times you don't use them or you don't need it. Stash concept is understanding is important, but -u, -p, we don't use all of that. So this is about stash and the merge. Today we have discussed two very important concepts like branching, right? And then merging. Of course, merging with conflicts, without conflicts, with conflicts, without conflicts. We understood the reason for conflicts. We have seen how to resolve the conflicts. But remember, everything in our local. We'll do again this merging on remote where you see changes from, conflicts from others. So branching, merging with conflicts, without conflicts. And then we were talking about stash. Tomorrow we'll pick up further advanced concepts like rebase, another advanced topic, far advanced thing, rebase, and then we will go to remote repositories. Remote repositories, yes, on remote, what is remote, GitHub, what is it? Then we'll talk about merging their conflicts there and all. And also, yeah, deleting branches, those things are small. Yeah, we'll also look into them. So any further questions from your end on today's topic? First today's part, then anything else. Were you enjoying it? Were you liking the tool?
Yeah.
Or is it confusing,
No,
boring? How it is?
pretty good. It's pretty good.
Commands are straightforward, so it's interesting.
Almost all the commands would be the same, even Docker also. But if you don't understand, that would be a lot of confusion. But yeah, they'll be straightforward, easy to learn and memorize.
This all Git commands are Linux based. Okay?
These are not specific to Linux or Windows. Same commands in Windows also. Those are not Linux commands. Those are just Git commands. But of course, you use a bash terminal to execute them. If you are doing it on Linux or Windows, same commands. In Windows also, you will run them from command prompt, CLI, right? CLI commands, I can say that's all. Same commands.
How often do you use this stashing concept in real time?
Which one?
Stash concept is right?
Stash command also we'll use less, but the scenarios like if you want to clean up and move something, you may stash it.
Okay.
Not regular command. So that is all from my end. I am leaving a quiz. Don't leave the class. Quiz is important to check your understanding. Okay, the questions are for your understanding, not that someone is asking, someone is giving you a test. Okay, the idea of quiz is to check your understanding on the concepts, the commands, recollect, you can recollect them. So let me share it. Give me a second. They were all available on the website. I believe you all have got access to it. Yeah, you can also go through it from your end. I'll share both of it, okay, from with the website link for quiz as well as the individual, like a separate link for it as well. So here it is in the chat window.
Priti, have posted in chat window.
Yeah, just now. Also, you all got access. Majority of you, I believe, got the access for the quiz. Whoever have not, you can check with Ras. And here is the job portal. Sorry, quiz portal on the website. You can take up the quiz number 3 here.